kind of drink do you prefer?
Amphorius, the eternal lamp.
Yeah, that's what Miss Black Swan said. It's a world hidden away from outside observation, with a presence only revealed by the light from the mirror of the Garden of Recollection. It's mysterious, all right. You haven't been with us on the Express very long. Will the journey be too much for you to handle? Huh? Has it been that long?
We should consider Pom-Pom's opinion, too. They don't know we're considering Amphorius as a destination.
Yeah! Plus, even if we pass Amphorius over, we've still got a fuel problem to solve.
In other words, we won't be leaving Penacony.
Or we could also revisit our previous stops to make sure that the astral charts and navigation routes are all functioning fine. I wonder if the hole in the Tychean Stadium has been repaired.
Creating chaos is also a means of maintaining social stability, if you ask me.
If you have the time for mindless gossip, you're probably better off spending it on getting actual work done.
They say this is all part of ongoing investigations. But is there even any point to doing this? The threat's long been neutral. They're just putting on a show. I mean, look at us. This sudden surge in inter-family cooperative efforts. It's nothing but a pretense for those outsiders, isn't it?
Sounds like you've got insider intel. No, are the stories going around true? Was the furor that broke out a while ago really a result of trouble within the Oak family?
Those are some difficult questions. Didn't I just say that creating chaos is also a means to maintaining some... Who knows who's been fanning the flares? But there are a dozen rumors going around out there, each one more outlandish than the last.
Oh, I've heard those. Conspiracy theories about how the IPC had orchestrated everything and... what was it again? That the chaos was only quelled because of an accident? Makes no sense.
Well, the truth has probably been long buried under all the hearsay. All I can say for sure is that someone's taken the rap for it.
You mean the former Oak family?
Bingo. Most of the blame was pinned on him when the Charmony Festival was abruptly cancelled. Since then, not a heck. Forget his whereabouts. Nobody even knows if he's still alive. Talk about scary. For all we know, we might have watched something go down in history, like what happened to the Black Plum family back then. Without it.
I've heard another theory about that family head. I beg your pardon, sirs. Dreamweavers are carrying out inspections on the routes around here, and all affected facilities have been closed off.
What happened? Is this because of the Stellaron? Jeez, are we Penaconians never gonna dream in peace again?
There is no cause for alarm, sir. The Stellaron has already been sealed. This is just a routine inspection. A move to hide. Please rest assured that the family will do everything in our power to protect the sweet...
I see. We'll leave the two of you to your work, then.
Excuse me, sir. Have we met before?
Oh. Do you recall when or where we might have met?
My bad. I must be mistaken. Sorry about that. Sweet dreams to both of you, sirs.
You sure have a knack for stirring up trouble. Of all the routes available, you had to take the one that Bloodhound's keeping watch over.
We shouldn't run into any problems with you around. Even if they see through the Harmony's power of disguise, there'll be a way for us to escape.
Spare a thought for me, will you? Just being in your company is plenty enough to get me into trouble, Mr. Prime Fugitive of Penn.
And that is exactly why I need you with me. You're the only one I can rely on in...
The only one you can... What about her?
At least, she was spared from the consequences of my actions.
What a shame.
Why do you say that?
Just thought that being mean might be more effective than console. I've seen plenty like you. Eager for everyone to take you to task after a setback because that's the only way you'll feel better. As though the more they condemn you, the more likely you can rectify. That said, if I'd really wanted to hit you where it hurts, I'd use a different approach. Like a show of sympathy for...
You're right.
She should still be in Penacony.
That won't be necessary. I'm sure you already know why, considering your vested interest in reading my... I can't bring myself to see her when I'm a fugitive.
All right, then let's keep going. Helping a fugitive return to their home. So exciting.
I see two bloodhounds. They appear to be on official business. What's happening at Ideen Park?
Hey! Hey! In case you didn't notice, I can't see.
My apologies. I forgot that you're not very tall.
Remind me, why do I have to make this trip with you?
We've been through this. You're the only one I can... Besides, we once lived a cat-and-dog existence. Embroiling you in my affairs won't weigh on my conscience.
You certainly don't have much of one if you can bring yourself to say something like that.
Yet you will repay this favor all the same. After all, you're only alive today because of me.
Holy moly! Can you get any more conceited?
When you were abandoned in the wild and near your end, I showed you a way to survive and helped you escape the jaws of... When you were at your wit's end and felt lost about your future, I did everything within my power to help you
Okay, I get it already. You have a way with words, I'll give you that. Still, it's one thing to repay a favor, quite another to knowingly put myself in harm's way. I don't understand. Why are you hell-bent on going back to Penacony? Is this an IPC mission? Did they make you a deal? You can have your freedom back, but in return you must turn against all whom you once called family or something like...
Regrettably, Lady Bonajade didn't drop so much as a hint about it.
Go now. You are free, O Chosen One, who dare to exceed his bounds. Sever your wings, descend to the mortal realm, and walk their lands.
I will not.
As I mentioned earlier, it's a trade, and you don't have to give me an answer right now. Rewards are not reaped in a day, and if there's one thing I'm best at, it's waiting. The sweet dream still continues, and the night is still long. You have plenty of time to contemplate your answer.
She only left me with a most intriguing message before setting me free. As for whether I can... I'll only know when I find out what it...
But nothing good ever comes out of being in the...
I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. For now, there's still some time before that payment is due. So why not exercise the right to freedom that I've just
By walking straight into a trap.
Or by... when it's time to go. This will be farewell for good. So, before I leave Penacony, I'd like to take some time to look back on all the events that...
Can't you just look back on it?
There's something else I want to do, too. The embryo of philosophy may have fallen, but the order in Penacony wasn't built in a day. This sweet dream is likely to still contain residual traces of the Oak family.
Get off your high horse. The other 4 families are more than capable of working things out.
I might have gone astray, but others shouldn't have to clean up after
Then you should also know that the IPC isn't gonna help you a second time. If you fall into the
You know how it is. The tie should be on the center line. The shirt must not protrude from the vest. Trouser creases should be The same applies when bidding my home farewell, too.
But what has Ideen Park got to do with you? Don't tell me that the Founder is one of your disguises.
That sounds familiar.
I'm aware.
What? What are you talking, Mr. 1 Week? Please excuse me, I should have recognized you earlier. I must be more tired than
I want to know what's going on in there.
There's nothing much to say, actually. We Bloodhounds are just as baffled as you are. My guess is that it's simply part of the aftermath of the Stellaron and...
Aftermath?
Renowned workaholic, Mr. Workday. He works for me.
Oh, I see. Pardon my ignorance. Coming back to the topic of the park, let's just say that it has been recently observed that certain...
What happens if you violate the prohibition?
It's baffling, but corrective measures will be taken. It's kind of difficult to explain.
Yeah, that works. Can you keep watch over the entrance?
Please take these notes with you.
You shouldn't have said that just now. It'll only make us look
Said what?
Mr. Workday?
I was just telling the truth. I've always found this name to be more suitable for you. So, why are we here? You managed this park before?
You could say that. I was still a child back then. To become the bronze Melodia of the Oak family, I'd gone under Mr. Gopherwood's. We were taking a walk in the park like any other day. When he sat in hindsight, that was probably the first time that
You rose through the ranks soon after. I take it that you must have done a pretty good...
Quite the contrary. I made a terrible mess of things. Fortunately, the tourists thought of it as nothing more than a spell of...
Was that his way of training?
Perhaps he was just using an approach with lighter consequences. This place is no exception.
Let's see what we have on these. No consumption of food except for burgers. What? No consumption of...
I have nothing against his...
What happens if I...
It's as the Bloodhounds...
Huh.
Wait, don't... That's odd.
Didn't I tell ya? The family can take care of the issue without you having... Next on the list is the stage. Let's go and check it out. Only casting...
And an easy one to tap.
Huh?
Let's try that again.
What's going on?
Guide those who have lost their way back onto the right path. Looks...
You've been iron-fisted since you were little. Wait a sec.
I tried to warn you. How do you feel?
Now?
In any case, say what you will, but I can't sit by and do nothing.
What's the plan?
Nothing complicated. All distortions have their... When a distorted after it, then I'll use the power of tuning to heal the dreamscape.
So, can I take it that rules are meant to be broken now? Please do not use Soul Glad bottle caps sold by the Dream Jolt Troop. Please do not use Soul Glad the Dream Jolt Troop. Oh, boy. Please do not the Dream Jolt Troop. Oh, there it is.
Just one moment. I'm afraid you're going...
Handle this. Wait.
May I remind you that...
Lux... Shall we give this capsule... machine a try and see what happens? Nothing's off so far. Maybe we should open the capsule? They can't be... No.
I hope for an end to resonate all together. I'm gonna hold everyone back again! Protect!
I can't thank you enough. I've heard the call.
May song bring us victory. Tonight, stars echo.
Stay put! Fiends or devils! I'll crush them all!
Later.
I'll overcome the thorns. This mortal will watch over you, guide you on your path. Born to doubt farewell.
All will be revealed. In lunar flame.
It's of no consequence. I can't thank you enough.
Fiends or devils, I'll crush them all!
Serenity is before me. This mortal watch over you, guide you on your path.
All will be revealed. In lunar flame.
Oh, did they have to do that? They could.
Perhaps making...
Aren't the...
We're not breaking enough rules. We should look elsewhere, too.
discard. This is...
Children tend to be...
Forget it. I don't even know. Do not discard trash. This is absurd.
Children tend to be fascinated by such...
Forget it. I don't even know how to... Something's happened. Huh. What is this?
Enough. The locate...
Oh, there it is.
Time for it to disappear for good. Reveal thyself unto me, as is customary.
Whoa, it worked.
So long as there remains a need for me to keep a low profile, I'm no...
That's true. That was sarcasm.
You never forget time.
Ugh, you're probably the only one who'd consider something like that a failure. What is it this time?
Just looking back.
But nothing's there.
That's the whole point of revisiting a place. When I look at everything here, the memories are so fresh. When the younger me tasted failure here, I ran myself ragged to fix the mess. I thought myself no longer the same person as before. I'm glad for this chance to look back on my past in this way. Come now.
So, where are we headed?
OT Mall.
I don't mean to meddle, but I'd advise you to stay away from that place.
Did something happen?
There isn't any concrete information yet, but anomalies have been reported around the area. The family. You okay?
I'm fine. The Stellaron incident may have been quelled, but who is to say that nobody has another agenda? Thanks for the tip, sir. We'll make a detour. May you stay.
Hold on. Sweet dreams are technically safe, but it would be wise to look out for oncoming view.
Thank you.
Whew, that was no ordinary passerby. It's a miracle that he didn't see through your disguise.
The Astral Express should have departed a long time ago. Why is he still in... We needn't change our plans because of him. But be sure to keep your guard. I hope nothing terrible has fallen upon Penacony while I was in captivity the last few days. Come now. It's time we set off. Let's not stick too close to each other, just in case. A few feet or so between us will do. Seems I let my wishful thinking get the best of me.
I will, but before, put your hands behind your back and answer my questions in short sentences.
Short sentences?
I need to make sure your words aren't concealing any dangerous incantations.
I can't believe I've left everyone with such a peculiar impression of me. Please, believe me when I say that I didn't come back here with ill intent. Penacony will never experience the Order again.
I'm afraid I won't be taking your words at face value. Not after how you wielded the power of... Answer me. What?
It looks like there's only one way to gain your trust. Come on out, 1 week. We found ourselves an ally.
So, it was the IPC that...
My sister has likely made an agreement of some sort with them. As for how I'm able to move around freely in Penacony, I have 1 week to thank for that. As you can see, I've only returned to my home to bid it farewell. Would you be kind enough to give me a chance to say goodbye, so that I may leave without regrets?
Agreed. But, until you leave Penacony for good, I left my home in a hurry, too. That said, I can't make this call by myself. My companion...
The Astral Express crew is in Penacony.
Come with me. We'll go find them.
Okay. Boy.
We're here. They should be...
Mr. Yang, if you don't mind, now that the crisis on the planet of festivities has been averted, shouldn't the Astral Express have departed to continue on its trailblaze? Could it be that someone stirred up trouble after I left?
And if that were indeed...
I doubt I'm in any position to be proposing ideas, but I'm happy to defer to the Nameless and aid with any plans you may have.
There's no need to worry. All is well in Penacony. Our reason for lingering here is a certain unusual passenger.
A passenger?
The Express has been commissioned to send a passenger back home. We're just resting up in Penacony for a while before we depart.
By passenger, do you mean this lady here? These ladies?
This... how?
You're finally here, Mr. Yang. We have a huge problem.
Isn't it fascinating how variables never fail to find their way into the lives of organic life? I have no interest in the Harmony's celebration, so it's only natural for me to turn down the invitation. But it looks like my decision also cost me the front row seat to all of your exciting adventures. Conclusion: there is likewise a downside to pursuing... I hear that the Astral Express has established a collaboration with the Garden of Recollection. Could there be more to... Logic. The average Pathstrider wouldn't leave any trace behind in the Garden of Recollection. It's a pity we do not communicate much within the society. Not to mention we've lost most of our members to the Lord of Silence. I have never heard of Amphorius, however. That Foxian girl has indeed been through an unimaginable turn of events. I suppose that's the fate you organic life form. So, is it out of goodwill that the Astral Express volunteered? Looks like this is one exceptional passenger. Don't you have to accompany her then, Miss He?
So, is anyone gonna tell me what's going on? March?
Oh, about that. Why don't you ask him instead? He knows how to present things logically. Not now. Forget it. I'll tell you. We walked around with Miss Ting-Yoon for a while after separating from the rest. But then we ran into...
Did something happen in the...
Actually, it's more like it was someone's fault. We met a Pepeshi filming a Try Not to Laugh challenge, and he gave us some of his candy. A type of candy that's supposed to make you fall over
So that sort of try not to laugh challenge.
I didn't really want to do it, but he insisted on us giving it a shot. That's how we got into this problem.
What happened?
Oh, come on, stop interrupting. So, we had some candy, and we're so happy we rolled around on the ground for a bit before standing up. But once we did, Miss Ting-Yoon ate the candy too. But she only sneezed nonstop. Achoo! Achoo! Sneeze after sneeze. And before we knew it, she multiplied into several Ting-Yoons right in front of us.
What's your...
The dreamscape is a Memoria world. It is likely the candy triggered her hypersensitive mind, causing scattered memory fragments to dissociate, and there is no cause for concern. We've experienced similar incidents from...
Mr. Yang...
It's okay. You can reveal yourself.
I was only being careful. Or we would have been stopped by the Bloodhounds. Help me remove my
It's been a while, everyone.
You!
Everyone, stay calm. I believe that at this point, Sunday has no reason to be dishonest. But to prevent any unforeseen complications, I'll be accompanied. Mr. 1 Week here is an old acquaintance.
Pleased to meet you, fair lady. And you, of course. You're the heavyweight who pummeled this control freak.
The surprises just keep pouring in. First there was Miss Acheron, and then Miss Ting-Yoon. Why does it seem like Mr. Yang always comes back with some extraordinary guests?
Let's leave this discussion for later. For now, we should be focusing on returning Miss Ting-Yoon to her.
That's not gonna be easy. You'll see what I mean, Mr. Yang.
Miss March 7th, have you taken the time to consider
Your suggestion? Oh, wait.
It's me! I'm the one who wants every Tingyun to come together to form the Tingyun Merchant Guild. How often do you get the chance to work with yourself? Just imagine how in sync we'll be with one another. We're bound to thrive. I know, we can't leave the dreamscape to trade with the outside world, so that's where you come in, Miss March 7th. Your wits surpass many others, making you the perfect person to handle liaison negotiations.
I guess I can consider it. I hope everything goes... there. Now do you see what
There does appear to be an element of her talking to herself.
Forget about it. How are you gonna clone your...
Mr. Yang mentioned the Express's next voyage is to send a passenger back home. Could this lady be
Yes, more specifically...
the Lao Fu? Didn't the Antimatter Legion launch an ambush on the Lao Fu some time ago? Was she one of the...
Quite the contrary. She might have been the person closest to the island.
Looks like there's a lot more to...
Story for another time. As host of the Dreamscape, do you have...
I don't have much to go on now. Perhaps we should talk to the other...
Why do I feel like it's not gonna be a wise move? Huh? Ugh, yikes! She's scary! No, I won't be able to... This Miss Tingyun looks like she's... Huh? You can't fly? I'll take you next time. Should we get someone...
Nah, I think she's perfectly fine on her own. The childlike innocence that adults have is a lot more resilient than...
Even if that's true, it doesn't...
Were you all looking?
Found her! If I remember
It's nothing special, really.
She ought to meet your one we can properly speak with requirement.
Worth a try, my lady. If I may, I wish to perform a tuning.
Before you start, you should know that we're keeping our eyes on you.
It is not my intention to provoke you. Perhaps, as assurance, we can have my friend here perform the task in my stead.
That is true.
If you still have concerns, you are also free to restrain me while he...
There's no need for that. You're...
Are you all right with this, Miss...
I go as the wind blows, so you may decide for me.
Then kindly forgive our intrusion. Please.
What the... Did any of you hear a voice just now?
A voice?
Never mind.
Look! It's working!
Never did I expect that every encounter with you would always be in moments of distress. Did I conduct myself improperly?
Miss Tingyun, you're finally back! You're pretty amazing. Huh? What's wrong?
It's nothing. Just a trivial matter.
What do you sense?
I should have let you handle it yourself. This girl is not as ordinary as she appears. I nearly died. Just now.
Don't be afraid.
What?
No matter what you see, you only need to remember one. You're not alone.
Who? And... Is that where I came from? And where does this path lead? That looks so familiar. Does she want to leave me somewhere?
The life support pod is ready. There were only minor issues.
That's great. Otherwise, that person from the Xianzhou might not be able to hold on much.
You're still trying. There's no precedent for saving someone who was destroyed by a Lord Ravager.
I'm not a genius, so I don't understand the logic behind it. But if she says it's possible, then it...
Excuse me. Can they not? This girl... Ting-Yun.
Don't question it. Keep moving forward.
It's you again.
These are wounds left by the destruction. They have taken root within your body and cannot be removed.
The destruction? I don't understand. Please, who are you? And why won't you show your...
I can't go to you. All I can do is wait for you to finish what...
You want me to go through here? Do I have to...
There's no need for that. It's too dangerous. Don't fight it. Embrace it. Try to coexist with it. Think of it as... feel...
My... Is this called... coexisting?
Don't worry. As I said before, you're not alone.
Existence is unity.
Take your positions.
Every petal, all will be swept away by the wind.
The mood is set. Let the show begin!
Have we met? Share good fortunes.
Until everything burns to ashes! Firefly Type 4 in the set in the seas of flame! I will claim victory for my spite to live! Set in the seas of flame! I will claim victory to live!
Stay in step.
No holding back. Dream vanished.
How can it be? Why are there still so many? The ones from before weren't defeated either?
As I said before, you can't defeat them. No one can. You can fall into the darkness and die alongside these scars, or bring them with you when you return to the world here.
Return to the world? What are you saying? Oh. No wonder those two ignored me. Am I just a wandering spirit?
Close, but not quite.
So... I'm trapped between...
You can think of it that way.
Based on what you said, even if I should wake up, these wounds that caused my death will remain on my body and never heal? I don't understand. You appear to be trying to save me, Benefactor. But why are you telling...
It's a habit of mine. I believe everyone should have the right to choose whether they wish to return to this world.
Be that as it may, I don't remember anything. There's nothing.
That doesn't matter. I believe the desire to live was born from nothing. You may also prove yourself to be the exception. I would also be pleased with that result.
How troublesome. But...
survival or destruction is no longer a choice for you. They both now grow along the same, and only by walking this path will you break through the darkness and arrive. Feeling more awake? Congratulations. You attained your very first victory in this tug-of-war. Let me explain. You were attacked by a Lord Ravager. By all rights, you should not. But someone didn't agree with that assessment. And it just so happens, I was able...
What about the other merchants?
I don't know.
Why me?
Because you were the most unfortunate. You fell into the hands of that Lord Ravager, who does yet. You were also the most fortunate. Her desire to claim everything about you for herself meant she needed time, so you were spared instant annihilation. There is only a fine line between resurrection and escaping death. Yet, they couldn't be more different. If you had truly died, I would have been powerless to do anything.
My body...
I'm sorry. I can't let you regain your ability to feel just yet. You'd be in... Your body was contaminated by the destruction and suffered severe damage. As I said before, these wounds will stay with you for the... To prevent its resurgence, I made some minor modifications to your body. Or more specific, you'll have to learn to adapt to it. Unfortunately, the inescapable price of survival is...
Regardless,
There's no need for that. This was merely a transaction. With this, the debt between the traveling merchant and me... Don't worry about it. You should sleep for a little longer. By the time you wake up, you won't remember, and I'll arrange for someone to send you home. Which reminds me, you seem to have some dependable friends with close ties to you. You should go with them. It can only help with your recovery to hear more about your...
Are you...
Did I... A little quick to the draw.
The tuning rebounded and affected 1 week instead. This is...
I suppose there's no point in hiding it from... Miss Ting-Yun is originally from the Xianzhou. She had an unfortunate encounter with a Lord Ravager who robbed her of her identity and left her on the verge of death. While she miraculously escaped with her life, her body suffered terrible injuries beyond all power to...
But something happened to change that outcome?
Yes, a genius got involved. She's very accomplished in the field of life sciences and managed to grant Miss Ting-Yun a shot. After that, she asked the Express to escort Miss Ting-Yun back home. We made a stop at Panaconi along the way, partly to allow her some time to convalesce.
I'm so sorry. I thought no one would be affected if I hid inside a dream.
That's all right. So long as nobody was hurt. Can I get something to drink?
That's fine. We should find another place to talk anyway. We drew some attention with that commotion.
So glad again.
You'll have to make do.
In any case, I must thank the both of you for your assistance.
It was nothing. Now that the matter with Miss Ting-Yun is resolved, are we meeting your other two companions?
There's no need for that. Mr. 1 Week is in poor condition, so let's wrap up your farewell. I'll leave Miss Ting-Yun in your hands.
Huh? But, Mr. Yang, the messenger from the Xianzhou is almost here.
I trust that you can handle it. Besides, Himiko will be there. She'll be able to handle any decisions should you run.
Okay, we better hurry. It's ridiculous. Shall we keep going then? Did you forget already? Miss Ting-Yun is going back to the Alliance, so we're here.
I'm not too familiar with this planet.
As if a merchant could seriously take advantage of...
Oh, I already picked up a few gifts earlier. So that means there's only 3 more left to go. But we've already lost a lot of time. So we better not drag our feet.
Where are you planning to go next?
Could you give me some time to think about it?
Welcome. How can I help?
Hello there. It's my first time visiting the Dreamscape, so I wanted to buy some local specialties as souvenirs for my friends back home. My 2 friends...
Wow, you really know how to flatter. Go ahead.
First we have Lady Fushuan of the Divination.
Did you pick that because of her third eye?
A meticulously thought out and interesting suggestion. It'll make next is... Come to Clock Studios theme park to learn more about the history of the planet of festivities. Finally, we have Lady Bailu of the Alchemy Commission. You carry yourself with such dignity and grace, but you still have the heart of a child. Lady Bailu loves these types of accessories. Let's go with that's all of them. Thanks to both your help, everything went smoother than I expected. And it looks like we still have some time to spare.
Why don't we pay another visit to the Dreamscape sales store? You can find memory bubbles pretty much anywhere. But Penacony's dream bubbles are extraordinary. Even if we don't get them as gifts, we can keep them as souvenirs.
A souvenir for myself? That's definite. But there's one more thing I wish to do. Since this is our last stop, could I have a word with you two in private? This is a good spot.
Miss Ting-Yun? What?
You've looked out for me during our travels together these past few days. But there are some things I find difficult to forget. I feel it's only right that I tell you what's on my mind. Do you two still remember what it was like when you first...
How could we forget? He was so shocked. He was frozen in place when he shouted.
Exact. And that's precisely why I haven't been able to shake off this strange feeling. The days since I started. When I asked for your names, I couldn't help but think that this first encounter was actually a long-awaited. I've heard about what happened to you on the Xianzhou. And I've got to admit that Fantilia's disguise was so perfect, it was like another me tricking.
Yeah, we couldn't even tell when you were replaced by Fantilia. I figured it happened when we were after Kafka. You vanished for a while. I thought you must have come back as a double.
But it was much earlier than that. That thought has me filled with sorrow. As if a piece of my life had been stolen away. And that's what I've been puzzled about too. I never actually saw how Fantilia managed to disguise. What was your impression of that Tingyun, if you... That's just the nature of the Foxians. It's widely known that mystery is the key to our allure. So, what did... I'll just assume that's a compliment. Maybe next time you could just say silver-tongued. Was there anything particular?
Now's not the time for those...
Now, in your eyes, am I just like the Tingyun you remember?
Wait, don't you find that question a bit weird? You're the real Tingyun. Why compare yourself to an imposter?
Miss March, you might have the wrong idea. I'm just feeling...
Uh-huh?
As a merchant, staying well-informed is crucial. It's only natural for me to stay updated on the events of the law. If I had rushed in and out back then, I wouldn't have been much help. Instead, I would have postponed the trip and sought assistance from ally.
We wouldn't have crossed...
Exactly. Based on your description, that Lord Ravager was indeed cunning. Her demeanor mirrored mine so closely that it felt like she was living my life for a few days, rather than merely disguising. I regret missing out on your Xianzhou journey. But everything that unfolded afterward, aside from the scheming, played out exactly as if I'd been there. This leads me to consider Fantilia had stolen a piece of my life, and a Foxian always gets even. I will not be taken advantage of. I must take... But after thinking it over, the only thing that could be considered equal value is the bond that thought has brought me great comfort. And now I know we've never even met before, and here you are, offering your help, just as before. I should have treated you with respect, but... And now, I will reclaim everything I have lost. And it should begin with... Dear benefactors, I extend my heartfelt... Looks like we're off to a good start. Moving forward, I'll definitely be trying more things like this from... And you, my dear benefactors, will be my source of courage.
Miss Tingyun, that's way too over the top. Just don't make any risky decisions.
We'll see. I just hope the Tingyun in your memories won't be tainted by Fentil. Alright, no more questions. I hope I didn't take up too much of your time.
A dream about it. Welcome to the Dreamscape sales.
We're looking for some dreams to give as gifts. Something exotic and...
Just a friendly reminder, being too picky won't help you find the best dream. Just to dampen your spirit. That being said, there are always some lucky exceptions. Not too long ago, I procured a dream bubble that sound the story unfolds in the Xianzhou Alliance, where a young sword master strives to become the sword champion. However, his junior Foxian sword, who just turned 100, puts him in a...
Why does that sound oddly familiar?
Since I'm returning to the Xianzhou, I think it's better to choose something unrelated to the Alliance.
I love customers like you. So
easy to take advantage. Just don't pick anything weird, okay?
Oh, speaking of dreamscapes, I have a gift for you. After troubling you all this time, I couldn't leave without properly expressing my thanks. Here's a dream bubble for you.
Wow.
Here are the dream bubbles I prepared for you. Thank you.
Well, it looks like everything's finally in order.
Welcome to Dreams. Oh. Then please, close your eyes. Welcome to Dreamscapes.
I can't believe it's time for Miss Ting Yoon to leave. I'm not ready to say goodbye just yet. Yeah, we got delayed on the way. Mr. Yang will explain in detail. Has the messenger from the Xianzhou arrived yet?
Long time no see, everyone.
Madame Yuko.
I've imagined this moment many times. I was worried I might embarrass myself in front of you. I even rehearsed every word before. But now it seems it was unnecessary. Ting Yun, I'm here to take you home.
Madame Yukong, I wasn't expecting it to be...
I wanted to come because, after all...
Yeah, me of all people.
Your body... It's going to be tough from now on.
I've already escaped death once. Also, it's not all bad. I might even beat you at arm wrestling now.
You're still the same. Carefree as all. I have a lot I'd like to tell you, but I'll save it for the road. Even if we can't completely rid you of the pain, there must be ways to alleviate it.
I have no doubt. But since we're alone here, do I really have to go back to the Lawfu?
Why?
Despite Fantilia's ruthlessness, she spared me when I should have been eliminated. And why did Miss Ron May, who has no ties to the Xianzhou, go out of her way? It seems as if I've become a pawn.
There are people within the Alliance who also believe that the suspect is now on the Yuchua.
If that's the case, it's all the more reason for me not to return to the Lawfu and complicate things. I might as well take advantage of this.
Take advantage of the situation?
Right now, the marks of ruin inside me maintain a delicate balance. Moreover, they were created by, if possible, please inform the General and arrange for me to meet with the Marshal. Maybe this body of mine can help the Alliance get one step closer to the...
When Ron May visited the Lawfu earlier, she mentioned what happened to you. This coincided with when the message sent by the Arbiter Generals concluded that Fantilia did not intend for you to survive. If utilized strategically, this could give the Alliance an element of... If we follow this plan, we must keep your resurrection hidden. But before making any decisions, I want to know what you think. I'll support you, no matter what.
Then I'm glad. I shall save you the trouble of hearing what those people make.
The road ahead is perilous. If you decide to take it, I won't stop you. Maybe I'm being selfish, but I still want to know. Are you choosing this because it's what you really want?
I've come to see myself clearly in this dream journey. Perhaps it's what people call a blessing. There is someone who can attest to my true and please follow me. She should be around here somewhere.
Is that...
After a strange encounter, I was fragmented into multiple Tingyuns, each embodying a different aspect of my memory. And one of them hasn't returned to me, because she ventured too far.
You mean her? What is she doing?
She's captivated by something that, as a fleeting emotion, she's no different from a newborn. Her boarding this ship was solely down to her inner Madame Yukong, do you remember? Perhaps that was just an ordinary flight for you, but that was her first experience.
Back then, you were still young enough for me to carry.
You probably still can. Want to give it a try? Just kidding.
I remember you kept begging me to take you to the star skiff, and even dreamed of becoming a pilot. But once you were airborne, you were so nervous that you clung to others for dear life.
This flight was a turning point. The boundless cosmos unfolded before me. I was completely mesmerized. Not just by the view, but in this world, there are paths beyond waiting for us to... Even though I lacked the talent to pilot the star skiff and wasn't much of a warrior, I still chose to travel around with the Even to this day, this thrills...
That hasn't...
Never. Now I can embark once more on my journey as a traveler of no return, exploring the... Speaking of which, how are things with the Whistling Flames?
I've left Yan Ming in charge for now. He's reliable, but he can be a bit extreme, and might not always follow your principles as a traveling merchant.
My forsake what others fight for, and take what others abandon. That's the way to navigate the world and achieve my goals. I will. But now I've also learned that
while these merchant principles may apply to humans.
But this shouldn't fall on your shoulders to begin with. You are simply an innocent survivor in this war.
Madame Yukong, you were once In a hazy dream, I vaguely remember someone telling me that the inescapable price of survival is often more adversity. Madame Yukong, the gods use humans as pawns in their cosmic game, sacrificing countless innocent souls. Have you ever thought about making them pay?
Every moment of every day. But as inconsequential as we are, how can we escape the fate of being mere pawns? If I could choose, I would never want you to become a pawn. I just wish you could still be that carefree little fox, not caught up in this war.
Don't be disheartened, Madame Yukong. Thanks to the favor of the Lord Ravager. Remember, it's often the unassuming pawns, the lone traveler, or the worm that subdues the dragon, that leave even the best strategists helpless. So, now I'll become a cunning speck of dust, and make those masterminds behind the curtain sneeze a few times.
Is this place also affected?
No, I'm just here to bid farewell. I changed my mind along the way, so it shouldn't matter if we add another.
How did you know she would be here?
I didn't. I had a hunch and decided to try my luck.
It's not like you to leave things to luck.
I'm trying to change.
I don't think you need a bystander in this scenario.
You're not worried I'll take the opportunity to...
I believe you're the kind of person that has the ability and desire to use everything to your advantage. But that everything does not include Miss Robin.
Thank you.
Now then, Mr.
I'm not leaving.
Let him stay. He won't be in the way. I actually need 1 week to be there. She shouldn't be seen talking to a fugitive, no matter...
You don't intend to reveal your...
Both parties don't have to be aware that this is a farewell. I shouldn't put her at risk for my...
Shall we go then?
Let's go. Our journey can't begin if I can't take this first step. Didn't expect to see you here, Miss Robin.
My name is 1 week. I'm a member of the Nightingale.
You're too kind, Miss Robin. You must be very busy. What brings you here to Dream's Edge? Well, perhaps the dreamscape is not so different from reality. When we look up into the night sky, the stars aren't really there. The glimmering lights we see are merely the images of stars from long ago. So, have we ever truly seen a real sky? No, no. Today is my rest day. There's going to be a show later, so I came early to find a good... It's somewhere farther away. They say it's a farewell performance. The kind that's better to listen to from afar than watch it perform. Miss Robin, may I stay here with you to gaze at the stars? Still, these stars are unfamiliar to me. I don't recognize it. Perhaps it's both. The Stellaron disaster may not have had any real consequences, but many guests still chose to check out. Now the hotel feels quieter than before. It makes me wonder what Penacony's future will be like. I just... Did the person you wanted to say them to... Sometimes, what's in your heart doesn't need to be dressed up in words. Maybe he already knows what you... If you don't mind me asking, who is it? There are many such people on Penacony. Failure is like the setting sun to a dream chaser. It's something that happened. I believe they all have the willpower to start anew. Especially after... Are you saying that's not true? Failure may be a good thing for someone like that. Being able to reflect on one's actions is a value. Why is that? I hope so. A dream jigsaw. I'm still inexperienced, so let's just hope we get lucky. It seems we've been blessed with good fortune today. Another Dreamweaver probably left this behind. It's a habit for this profession. The second jigsaw piece. Is this a pair of wings or... We should keep looking. It's done.
Soon, I shall travel to those unfamiliar stars, none of which I recognize. But as long as you continue to gaze upon them from here, then those unfamiliar stars will one day be the place of our reunion.
That didn't seem like a perfect...
It's enough. I only meant to stay quietly by her side for a bit. But why did you do those unnecessary things?
What things?
Those 2 notes. If someone finds them, they can be used as evidence against...
Huh. So you can do whatever you want as many times as you want. I don't want to live with regret for the rest of my life either. We're almost done saying our goodbyes, right?
Yes. We only have one left, but before we leave, I have a question I'd like to ask you, Mr. Yang. I'm curious. Why did you become...
Why the sudden interest?
I always had a feeling that you would never give up on someone who needed help. After spending time with you, I'm even more convinced of this assessment. At this very moment, there are countless worlds above the sky still waiting for the arrival of the Astral Express. Yet you and your companions have chosen to stay here. All for an old friend you never knew, and a notorious fugitive. To trailblaze means to forge ahead. Yet, you stop and spend precious time on people just passing by. All the while you believe this is...
That's not what I think at all. Besides, the watchmaker also made a similar choice.
And because of that, he bid farewell to the Express and never walked among the stars again.
Not all journeys lead to the stars. Even if we leave the Express, some trailblazing paths will. You can think of it this way. The title of Nameless doesn't belong to any one person. Each individual will have their own view of what it means to walk this path, and will always try their best. No matter, the goal of my trailblazing is not the unknown world, but every living being who exists under the stars. In my homeland, the name Welt means world. It suggests that each person is a world unto themselves, and that we harbor as many possibilities as the distant stars. The connections I gain on my journey are what is most precious to... This is my way of the trailblaze, and the reason why I decided to stay.
Why me?
Like I said before, I left my home in a hurry too. I know how you feel, right? I also know that a person will only be able to truly face themselves once they've decided to say goodbye to their past. The same way you're doing right here. There was never a third person with us, was there?
I told you he'd find out.
I should have known nothing could escape York, since you already know 1 week's secret. There's no need for me to build up suspense. Let's go. We'll head straight for the finale and take our final bow in this farewell performance.
I know you can hide your appearance, but trespassing on restricted family grounds is
Don't worry. I won't take too much time. I was a child when I first visited the Grand Theater. I remember seeing the light behind the curtains from here, and believing it to be the morning star guiding me toward the land of the dreams. When I returned here many years later as the head of the Oak family, I finally learned that the light was action.
Now that you've returned to the stage, what are you planning to...
Prepare for my departure. I've always believed that a person's starting point should also be his last stop. Have you ever seen the elderly at the end of their lives? As they welcome their final moments, they invariably raise their hands, stretching their arms into the emptiness. Much like how babies also stretch their arms into the air, humanity flaps their wings twice as they complete their journey. Once when they are born, and once when they die. I will say goodbye, here, to the me of yesterday. I really hate this face. My expressions feel so dull and lifeless.
I see. That explains why something always felt off about the halo above your head that symbolizes the harmony. It's been missing since the moment we reunited.
It's true that this ring was bestowed upon our people by the heavens. But that doesn't mean it can't be thrown away. While I was in the gallery of thoughts, at the entrance of the dream, I chose to completely sever the halo from...
Why?
I am a fugitive, after all. I must remove any chance of being detected by the... Another reason is... to feel pain. A pain like falling from the sky with broken wings. This is how I can cast aside all the blessings of the harmony and the order and... for the first time in my life, enter the sweet dream as an ordinary person.
Is that also how Mr. 1 Week came into this world?
No. You wouldn't believe the real story even if he told you. He was born from an accident. One that you're actually quite familiar with. It was that try not to laugh challenge. Quite embarrassing, to be honest. I was roaming around as an ordinary person when I unfortunately fell into that Pepeshi's trap. The prank that fragmented Miss Ting-Yun also divided my...
Are you saying that he's a part of you? That's quite surprising given that you two look nothing alike.
You could say he's another I too was once a child, with aspirations buried deep within. Over time, those childhood voices grew increasingly. Maybe if I had made a small change in my childhood, I would have turned out to be exactly like... What a pity. Failing to become a better version of yours. So, my final farewell will be like that of Miss Ting-Yun. I will perform a tuning on myself and return to my complete and this also means that 1 week will vanish for good. That's why I said this was the last... Is there a possibility that you will be the one who No. This is a foregone conclusion, but who's to say there won't be any changes? Maybe deep down.
Regardless of the outcome, you will have a witness. I'll be waiting for you in the audience.
Much appreciated. Now, anticipating this possibility, you've really changed. In the past, I'm about to embark on an unknown journey where it will be impossible to maintain my orderly life. I will have to navigate unexpected surprises, much like today. You're not ready at all, are you? I feel unsettled, maybe even scared. Ever since I left Penacony, I can no longer control everything. Don't flatter yourself. You can't control anything. But isn't that how it is for me? My fear of the unknown may be a weakness, but your presence has shown me that surprises aren't always bad. Meeting you has been a great help to me, and I'm glad to have discovered this side of myself. I also feel grateful for the opportunity to tell you this in person. I truly dislike you. What? Are you sure you didn't mean the opposite? I must admit, many of your qualities strike a chord with me. There are times when I want to joke around, freely express my thoughts, or openly share my dislike of a person. Or my fondness. I want to tell her that I love all her songs. Then go for it, Sonny. You always talk about locking the bird in the cage, but you're the one who's trapped. Look at yourself. Besides discipline and hesitation, there's nothing else in your life. If you continue living like a slab of marble, you'll break into pieces when you fall. But I won't become like you. I dislike people who are frivolous. It makes me uncomfortable to even emulate them. If I fail, I will still uphold my principles, such as decorum and stately. As for the harmony, my stance remains the same. Whether it's you or the paths, if what I once doubted, or even opposed, becomes the force I must rely on in the future, then this time, my true heart will guide the tuning. I'll leave it to you. What is this? Leaving your fate and... This isn't like you at all. Did you lose your mind after being run over by the Express? Or were you possessed by that IPC gambler? Failure is always the best teacher. To save more lives, you must first understand what they live for and what they die for. The best way to achieve... You see? I'm already starting to make change. Whether it's us merging or one of us disappearing, I'll leave the tuning to fate. And see if I can embrace all that I detest. Only then will I truly be able to walk among the living. But what if you can't do it? Well, that's out of my hands. It will just prove that I'm still the same person. The person who always disappoints his sister. Falling is just another name for flying. That's why I rejoice at my broken wings. Step into the mortal world to see how it truly is. Then, be born as a human and die as one. And with my last breath, I'll join the weak in reaching my hands toward on the planet of festivities. Whatever identities I once had, it's not the gods who answer us, but our... I don't have much to say. But, as it's time to part ways, here's one line. When telling jokes, be sincere. Don't sweat the details, and above all, don't explain them every time. Never mind. Maybe. No objections from me. This is so annoying. How did I become so dull? Well, despite everything, try not to be too hard on yourself. There will always be people who are sad. Planet of festivities, land of the dreams. I say goodbye to my home. Should one desire to leave the stage for good,
One must first step back onto the stage!
as expected, the trickiest thing is tuning yourself. These dissonant sounds are much too harsh.
It's better to make noise.
Free will, or was it still water to the flip?
Heard the component and doubt farewell. This more watch over you, guide you on your path.
Destined for oblivion.
My back. I'm honored. Since you're already here, why not have a meal before?
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
Echoes of the past, you need not fade away. Follow to the stars.
More season.
I'll overcome. Serenity is before me.
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
Time has come. Let it be revealed. Is it inevitable for me?
Another journey begins. Destined for oblivion.
Heard the call. Doubt farewell.
Free water. I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
All things are part of the melody. Eternal prayer.
I'm honored, but since you're already here, why not have a meal before?
Noisy.
Destined for oblivion.
This mortal watch over you, guide you on your path. Serenity is before me.
Still water to oblivion. I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
This 8th day, I grant myself departure.
Well, how should I address you now? Mr. Sunday or Mr. 1 Week?
Whichever you prefer. He's probably mocking me from inside right now. Thank you for accompanying me through all this, Mr. Yang. This farewell journey has come to an end.
What are your plans after leaving Penacony?
At this point, there's no need to hide things from you. I believe there's more to the incident involving the Stellar.
Are you suggesting that the Dream Master wasn't the one controlling?
Don't worry. The Oak family was indeed behind seizing the Stellaron and resurrecting the fallen Eon during the Charmony Festival. And you've already defeated them. But Mr. Gopherwood once told me that all the Order's efforts were aimed at avoiding the same mistakes that the harm... My guess is that the family from the Montour system must be involved. Unfortunately, too much time has passed to verify that. Penacony is just a small territory, and even the family heads with their authority cannot enter the sacred site of the Harmony and inquire about the true will of the Great... In the worst-case scenario, if Xipe turned a blind eye, how could the strong defending the weak hold up? Mr. Yang, I just want to tell you this. The Harmony has more than one side. They can be the most steadfast ally of the Astral Express, or the most...
Well, thank you for being honest with me. The efforts of the crew on Penacony were... After all this, the Harmony and the Preservation will keep the situation on the planet of festivities in balance. With the momentum from the Trailblaze, more forces will arrive, and Penacony will become a public space in the cosmos. Freedom is the only answer the Nameless can offer. I'm glad that
You and I both strive for a peaceful society, even if our reasons are different. And you've gone even if not for our paths. Perhaps you and I wouldn't be in opposition.
Oh, don't sell yourself short. We're not fundamentally opposed. Otherwise, you wouldn't have shown me mercy in front of the Dream Master. This shared journey is my way of repaying you. You are one of my trailblazing goals.
About that, you've given me many insights as well. Humans are the measure of everything, and no one is the sole savior. Creating a paradise remains one of my lifelong ambitions. As I move forward, I realize I must build it brick by brick. Therefore, while I lack the will to trailblaze, nor can I become a true... I admire your convictions. Perhaps what I need more than a set. Therefore, after leaving Penacony, would you consider letting me come aboard the Astral Express and travel with you for now?
So this is why I brought him here. Mr. Sunday wants to join us on the Express. Of course.
I learned the most valuable lessons from my past opponents. Please, say...
Well, he's just traveling with us. Not an actual member of the Express crew yet. Your newbie status is untouchable.
Thank you all for your forgiveness. Perhaps I'll find the answer I'm looking for on this journey. And when that day comes, until then, rest assured that I will do my best to fulfill my duty as your companion.
Now that our business on Penacony is settled, it's about time we get back on track and prepare for our next warp jump. try?
No, we're still not quite there. Indeed, this is only a minor ripple that no one will ever notice. So, you must also understand, for a genius, the importance of asking questions outweighs the importance of the answers themselves. So-called magic has its own set of principles. There are no mysteries in this universe that cannot be solved. So, all-seeing presence, I ask you this. What is divinity?
March 7th just showed me some dolls that were made to look like the members of the Express crew. They're adorable. This brings back a lot of memories. I come from a military background, so I don't have much experience when it comes to caring for children. When Qingni was a child, I rarely had time for her. I often worried about her feeling alone. I remember someone asked her once if she ever felt afraid being home by herself. She proudly responded, "I'm not afraid. I've got lots of doll mommies." Needless to say, the Skyfaring Commission was... Thinking back, the Nameless had a great relationship. It lends a warm atmosphere to the Astral Express. And it brings back memories of my own family.
Sincerest greetings, as always.
Welcome home, dear Nameless.
The stars are numerous. Benefactor, my apologies. I should have immediately greeted everyone as soon as I boarded on this initial visit of mine to the Express, but before I had even taken 2 steps, I became engrossed by the stars outside the stars are endless. With the universe... Then I'll shamelessly invite myself here a few more times.
Every time we meet, your memories get richer.